Good evening to all my families at Princess channel. They are subscribers, are fans, are well wishers right on this channel. I greet you all and I hope you're doing well. I hope all is well with all of us. Definitely all is well with us. In this particular voice note, I will be addressing the CBN factor in consonance with the delay being experienced currently in UAG disbursement. Possibly this could also apply to other ones, singular grants that we are expecting, the like spanning the Theobald Supreme and St. Rita Foundation Midwest Improvement Program. So, but like I said, I'll be addressing the intricacies of the CBN factor in respect of the delay. In Nigeria, precisely, having to go through the complex of the financial system, especially with institutions like the CBN, which is the Central Bank of Nigeria, can be a very challenging endeavor. And for those of us that are waiting for the UAG grant disbursement, it is essential to understand the hurdles that we are faced with, often most times due to last minute regulatory requirements and unexpected procedural changes. Picture it this way. For instance, you are informed that disbursement is scheduled to be in November 15th, maybe tomorrow, for instance, November 15th, and everything seems to be actually on track and on course. But however, as the date approaches, new documentation or an additional approval process may just suddenly be required that will finally now cause some further delays. And in circumstances like this, it is not a rare occurrence within the current financial Nigerian landscape. These are things that normally happens where your mind is already centered on a fixed date, but considering the complex nature of the CBN endeavors within the country, when you are there to present yourself to defend your cause, you might be there with documents and updated documents, but to your surprise, they tell you to come and fill some other documents and fill another one and fill this one, and this actually forms complexes of different kinds. And it is on this wise that we saw that part of the delay that has happened within this grand ecosystem might not even be, I'm not saying altogether, is not from the grant handlers, but there are government factors into the CBN factors, which we call some unforeseen contingencies that happens. Don't forget that all of us are stakeholders, including myself. We're all stakeholders in this. But sometimes, you see, whether because they don't have the interest of the masses at heart, that is why they do that. Apart from the fact that they want to keep records. Yes, they want to keep records, and it is good to keep records. But I want to believe that if it has to do with their own, what has to do with them intimately, what has to do with their own passion, their families, their comfort, their peace, their joy, their settlement and establishment, they will find a way around it. I tell you the truth. Whether it's the CBN factor, whether it's the Nigerian government factor, As long as that's to do with political stuff that will benefit all of them, they will find a way around it. At some point, Nigeria, I don't even know which point that Nigeria is not bleeding. Nigeria is bleeding, civil servants are bleeding, workers are bleeding, the masses are bleeding. That's the time that the president bought a yacht for himself. We have not finished restructuring our land. The land is in total mess. The road is in total mess. We've not even finished flying in the air. Now we want to start riding in the presidential yacht, running to billions of dollars. There were times that they imported different cars, executive cars, jeeps, running to hundreds of millions. You know, that was the time that the country was really paining and aching, and they were just bringing them in. And I don't know what they're using them for. So apart from the CBN factor, there is the corruption factor. There is the corruption factor. Now, some of this might not even be the fault of the ground handlers. Yes, the situation might not even be due to the negligence or intentional delay on the part of the ground handlers. See, but the government, the kind of government we operate in Nigeria, is an insensitive one to the plight of the masses. Very insensitive. Wickedness. Terrible people in positions of power. Godless generations. Abandoned projects. They are godless in their heart. And that is why whatever pains the masses does not pain them. No matter the cry of the masses, they don't care. They could go and die, they could go and suffocate, as long as it doesn't touch them, doesn't touch their children, doesn't touch their family members, they are okay with it. And that is the kind of enemy we are dealing with, the government factor. Apart from the individual factor, which the corruption has eaten deep into the syndrome of a Nigerian. It is in the DNA. The syndrome of corruption and evil is in the DNA of most Nigerians. Like those and everyone blaming the government now or talking bad of the ground handlers, put them there. They will do worse than these people because of this syndrome, especially once people are godless. Once people don't think about how they will die or how they will leave this place and meet their creator, they could do anything. You know, they could do anything. They don't care what happens thereafter. They don't care what happens to them in the life beyond. They could kill, they could maim, they could destroy, they could ostracize, they could condemn, just because of their personality. You see? So, but I'm not talking or advocating for UAG, but I want to also say that let it be that UAAG is fully committed to ensure that this grant is distributed to every beneficiaries. The positive news that I have is that despite these obstacles, the disbursement will happen. It is certain. Though these hurdles may slow it down, these hurdles we're talking about, the factors and the individual factors, the CBN factor, Nigerian factor, and the rest of them, but disbursement will happen. take that. Disbursement will definitely happen. So we as a channel, we appreciate your patience and understanding as we go through these complex processes. I can say that we are committed as a channel to bring you updated content, and also to say that we remain passionate towards the plight of every grant subscriber within the country. Yes, and I want to believe that UAAG will remain dedicated to making sure that every grant that is being subscribed to reaches those it was intended to benefit. Those that it was intended to benefit. Yes. I want to appreciate everyone, one singular subscriber of this channel, who has stayed true up till now and believing against hope that one of these days the light will shine out of total obscurity and your night will finally break into the dawn of the morning. We want to appreciate you and grateful for your time, your support, your everyday support and prayers. The Lord whom we serve will fight for us, and finally we shall hold our peace. I wish you a very lovely night rest. As you go to bed, may the Lord guide you, give you strength. Rise up tomorrow with a renewed vitality, strength, and focus for the future. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the fellowship of his suffering abide with us all now and forevermore. God bless you. Blissful night rest, and bye for now.